Hi, good morning. Welcome to another video of Code with Toyo. Today we'll go on a full ride on what data analytics is, how we can quickly do it with Python, and we'll move from loading data all the way to visualizations. And across the whole video, we are going to answer KPI questions and just see how a beginner can start using Python for data analysis. So without wasting much time, we are going to be using Jupyter Notebook. It's an environment that helps us write Python code as if we are writing a note in a notebook. Same working with Colab and similar guys. So Jupyter Notebook, and we have data here. We have a fictional data. It's a CSV data that has this following header, date, product, category, unit sold, and all of this. And these are all the values that makes each observation. So each line of the CSV is an observation of the value. And then we have our KPI questions, about 5 questions. What is the total revenue across all regions? Which product category generates? So we're going to answer all of these questions one after the other. So let's start. The first thing we want to do is get our data into our Jupyter environment. So either you have it in your folder or you point to the path. I'll just quickly upload mine because I don't want to have to stress so much in locating my data. So I'll just pick this fictional underscore score.csv. I have it in my Jupyter environment. The next thing I want to create a new um, Jupyter notebook to work with. So instead of untitled, I will rename it, let me say, fictional store analysis. So Jupyter Notebook only have IPYMB extension. So the first things we want to do, first things first, we always want to import the libraries we want to use. Most of the time, the core libraries we use for data analysis are the very basics. Is always we are importing pandas, we are importing NumPy, and then we are importing from Matplotlib dot. We want to import. So we want to import matplotlib. Import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So this pandas mostly for data manipulation and data structuring into frames, numpy for numerical analysis if there are any in our data, then matplot for visualization. So this alone gives us a foundation of what we want to use. Then next we say we want to import the data. So importing the data is we are going to be importing using pandas since pandas is having a load CSV function to it. So let's just have a variable that holds the data name. So let's just call it data, or let me call it store data. So it's kind of clear. Store data will be um, store data path. Let's break it down as much as we can. I think the name we have is retail store.ca, retail store.csv, fictional underscore store.csv. That's what we have. Fictional store.csv, comma separating values. This is what we have. So our path, that's our file path. The next thing we want to load this into our pandas frame. So to do that, let me just quickly give this as PD, just a nickname. So I have shorter versions as NP, and run this again. So that will be a PD, our data frame, or DF, if you like that. It will be a PD dot. We want a read CSV method from the PD, and it takes the path which the file is stored. So let's call this store data path. As easy as that, everything is just still looking good. So if you just want to see what we have at the end of the day, we can always print this out. So you can see, as simple as that is, it took this entire data and it gave us a tabular version of it with headers and all of this. So you can quickly want to explore your data. Maybe you just want to see the first five, first three, first two, or last five. If you're using a df.head, this returns the first five to you. If you're using a df.tail, it gives you the last five. If you are doing a df.tail or head and you pass a number inside it, returns that particular number inside of it. So if you just want to see the statistics, we'll definitely be doing a df.describe. This will return the statistics. For us, you can see it's telling us statistics are always on metric values and not on object kind of value. So it's returning the count, the mean, STD, 25th percentile, 50th percentile, 75th percentile, and max at the end of the day. So the units sold, the count, the mean value, standard deviation, and all of these statistics. If you want to see beyond statistics, you can always use the data frame. I want to see the info of this data frame, and it will give me um, the structure of the data. Here we have 7 entries. That's 7 observations, 0 to 6. These are all the headers, and these are their data type. You can see we have integer float, which are metric values. So basically, that is all we just want to see. You can do the describe. You can do a shape. So it's telling us that we have 7 rows and 7 columns, and so let's just go to our KPI questions and start answering them one after the other. I'll just copy the questions out to this place. So I just pasted my KPI question. Let's zoom it in a bit so it's clear. So the first question says, what is the total revenue across all regions? So total revenue across all regions, how do we answer that? So total regional revenue. It should be our revenue column. Let's take a look at it. We have a column for revenue. So it will be the sum of that, as easy as that. So from our data frame, we need the revenue column. And after we get our revenue column, we want to do a dot sum method. So this should give us um total revenue across all our regions. So it's saying total revenue across region is this. So we could do a print so it doesn't look so that way it's clear. So 12,950. You can quickly write a simple Python here. String interpolation, total regional revenue is equal to, you can put the Naira sign if you so wish, but I'm not putting that because I just want to go ahead and do this as fast as I can. So total revenue revenue is equals to 12,650. So let's check the second questions and really move as fast as we can. Which product which product category generated the highest revenue? So we want to do something that has to do with grouping by category. So we call it revenue by category. Oh, this video is getting longer than I expect. So category revenue will be definitely our DF, but we want to have a group by, what are we grouping by, and what values are we passing, and we need a sum. So these are the foundation of it. So we want to group by category, and we need this from category, the revenue. We want to do a group by category. So this should be a group by category and revenue. Then let's see either it works or so you can see, yeah, perfect. Makes a whole lot of sense. It says according to category, accessories return this, electronics return this, stationaries return this. As easy as that. So you can actually throw it into a print statement too. Let's say a print, and you can write all the Python story there and you're all good. So next question, because we're moving as fast as we can. What is the average unit sold per product? Average unit sold per product. So average units sold per product. Let's have a variable for that. I'll call it an AVG units sold. It will be a data frame of our, we should have units sold. Now data, units sold, we have that. So units sold, and we need the average, which is the mean. Simple as this is, it will give us what we need to see, units sold. So the average unit sold, let me put it in a print statement so that it doesn't return as an NumPy float array and it's clear to us. So there's around 66.42843. Basically, that's the average unit we sold per product. So the next question says, which region had the highest sales? So we are looking at region with the highest sales. With highest sales. So if you want to understand how I come up with all these variable names and all, they are just variable names. You just need to look at our videos on Python. So region with the highest sale in our data frame, we'll be doing something and somehow we're going to be doing a group by and even maybe a max. Either a max or we are even using a DF. We want to group by something and get the field. We want to check how much. So it shows us the region with the highest sale. So I think we are grouping by region and based on sales is revenue. So revenue. All of these things coming from our data set already. So if we want to print out region with highest HIGHEST sales. So for people that are into programming, there is a snake case of writing. We have camel case and all of those guys. So it broke. What broke it? Region with highest HIGHEST. So you can see the eastern region returned 900 and something, the northern region this, the southern region, the western region. So we can see the region with our highest sale according to this is the northern is holding the first position, south second position, east third position, and west fourth position. That's the power of the group by. The group by just breaks things for you into categories, more like SQL. If you have seen SQL, so we have a group by in SQL. So what's the next question now? The last one says, how does daily revenue change over time? So this is looking like a trend to me. And for a trend, we want to plot. That's what it means. Daily revenue over time. So let me just do this daily revenue over time. So this is quite longer than I expect, but hey, why not? Let's just finish it up. So instead of typing it out, I'll pause the video, type it all out, and come back and explain the code to you. So this is daily revenue over time. We want to plot this. First, I want to get the date. I want to group revenue by date and return the total revenue by each date. Then I'm setting the figure size for the plot, and I am calling this variable. I want to plot based on this variable. I want to use a line plot, a marker of 0. You can set colors and all of this. These are all attributes of the plot. If I need a histogram, of course, the kind will be that. Then the title of the plot is taking this. The X label means label on X title, label on Y, um, X and Y axis, X axis, Y axis, and the show always for you to show your chart. So sales date is not defined. Okay, why don't you have sales date defined? Let's quickly check what that problem is. Sales date with S. So we are missing S here. So let's see. Yeah, you can see it here. It's showing us a trend right now, and it's saying trend of sales. So we know that in 2024, 5th of January 2024, that's when we have our highest sales, followed by 6th, and we have a drop in 7. You can see. So from here, we can look at our daily trend and know the day we are selling the most and how to do promotions and advert and all of this. So basically, this is all you just need to follow if you also want to do some starting on some basic data analytics stuff using Python, Pandas, and maybe NumPy and Matplotlib. So this will be the end for this video. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, search for better versions on YouTube, like our videos, follow, comment, share, recommend to people, and we are giving out this knowledge for free as much as we can. The only way you can support our community to grow is to be a part of the growth. You can search for Toyotech ICT Solutions on Facebook as well. Follow us, search for us on Instagram, follow us so that we can keep building the community together. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.